Hi everybody, Armoured Pants here and welcome back on channel. We're going to have another sneak preview, another quick preview of a new tank, a Tier 8 TD in the German line, which is currently being tested. So we'll have a look at its tech spec. And we know it's being tested, well, because I've seen it tested. It was in a game with me yesterday, this game here. And if we look at the team lineups, as we should do at the start of every game, you can see here that we have the Kanonenjagdpanzer, which is going to be a Tier 8 Premium TD. And Wargaming have confirmed that at the moment it will be a premium tank, not a collectible, although in fairness that doesn't really seem to make too much difference. We'll have a look at it here. This is what it's going to look like in game. So this is the in-game view. So you can see it kind of looks like a bigger version of the Tier 6 Jagdpanzer. That was probably my fault, that little collision there, because I was paying too much attention to the tank because I hadn't seen it before in game. But anyway, you can see that this tank is like shit off a shovel, right? So it moves really, really quickly. When we look at the tech spec, you will see why that is. It also has a pretty fast reload, just 6 seconds if you run a gun rammer, and it goes up just over 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds if you run calibrated shells. But you don't need to, because the pen numbers in this tank are fantastic if we look at it. So don't really mind my gameplay here. I'm just showing you this because we can see the tank in action here. We can see how fast it got towards B. But if you're looking at its hit points now, you're going to know that it got absolutely smashed there. So that would seem to suggest that it doesn't have any armor, and indeed when we look at the details, you're going to see that that is indeed the case. It has fuck all armor. It is as easy to penetrate as the most popular girl in school with a bottle of tequila inside her. So we will see it here again in game. You can see it here behind me as it moves around. So what do we know from it? Well, we can tell that the tank has fantastic power to weight ratio, fantastic speed. It can get around the map with alacrity. It is not a problem for it. You can see it here moving. You know, in this game, it's one of the fastest tanks in the game. So let's have a look at it in some detail here, right? So we know it's going to be a Tier 8 premium tank. And we know that it is going to be like shit off a shovel, right? When we look at the gun, it has that 10.5 cannon, which is on the low, or the Löwe, and a number of other German TDs as well, like the Stur Emil. It has APCR as its standard round, and that's going to give you 255 millimeters of pen, which is incredible, right? And if you run calibrated shells, it's going to go up to 268. I don't think you need to run calibrated shells because that pen numbers are just incredible. And if you run heat with calibrated shells, you're going to get 300 millimeters of pen, which is going to pen pretty much everything front on, even front on. You're going to get 53 millimeters of pen with HE, and if you run calibrated shells, it goes up to 58. So I don't think you need to run calibrated shells in this. It's muzzle velocity on the APCR rounds is phenomenal. It's 1921 meters per second, which is one of the fastest in Blitz, even at Tier 10. It's incredible. So its gun handling is phenomenal. Its penetration loss over distance is almost non-existent. It's 1.57%. By the way, if you run calibrated shells, your reload goes up to 6.5 seconds, as I said, but yeah, it's still really fast. So it's going to be a DPM monster. It's going to be doing almost 3.5k of damage in theoretical damage, and that actual damage is going to be really high because it has such high pen numbers. Its dispersion is really low too, so it's like 0.261. So basically over 100 meters, your maximum deviation from your target can be 2.6 meters, right? So it's really low. So its gun handling figures are fantastic. It has 8 degrees gun depression, 15 degrees of elevation, so its gun alignment is pretty good. Its forward speed is 55 kilometers per hour. Its reverse is 20, but its power to weight ratio is off the charts. If you look at it here, you can see it is gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be shit off a shovel. Traverse and power to weight ratio performance over all terrains is excellent. Concealment numbers are also excellent if you run camo net, which you should, at a view range of 304 meters, which is what the view range of an RU251, which is the best in Tier 8, one of the best in Tier 8. you're concealed up to 153 meters if you're still and not firing. And if you fire when you're still, you blow a lot of camo numbers. They go up to 236. But when you're still at the start, 153 meters concealment is awesome. And you can see here it has no armor, right? None at all. So what does this tell us? Well, basically, if you like playing the E25 and the bug, you're going to like this. If you like a fast-moving TD with great traverse and part-to-weight ratio that can get into position quickly, has rapid fire, great DPM, and great pen numbers, you're going to like this. If you like playing a TD that has some frontal armor, you're not going to like this. If you don't like getting spammed with HE, you're not going to like this. Because bear in mind, you're going to be playing a tier 9 in this too. So it's really easy for you to get a massive HE round off something like a Waffle Tractor or Conway, something like that, and get rolled for a lot of your hit point pool. And bearing in mind that even when you use improved assembly, your hit point pool is just over 1200. It's 1219 hit points. So you can be two-shotted. So basically it's a tequila tank, right? 2 shots and you're done. 2 shots and you're going home or back to garage in this case. But if you like fast moving TD that can get into a position very, very quickly, can get into all sorts of difficult positions, is terrain friendly, map friendly, and has good concealment numbers with a rapid firing gun, then you will like this. Now, of course, the other caveat is it's only been tested, so some of these stats could change. The other thing we need to be aware of is that we don't know how Wargaming are going to give this to us. Are you going to be able to buy it for gold or cash? I would say it's unlikely. Probably is going to be some sort of fuck you scheme with crates or some other bullshit. So, you know, it looks like it could be a decent tank. It looks like it could be a solid performer in the right hands. And if you like that type of tank, I think fans of the E25 will like it. If you like a tank with frontal armor or TD with frontal armor, then you're not going to like this. But it's definitely one that collectors will want to have in their collection. So the question only remains is, will it be affordable and attainable? Or will Wargaming make it unattainable? So, you know, are they going to like try to focus again with crates, basically kind of gambling to try to get it? Or will they actually kind of make it genuinely available for a certain amount of gold or cash so that you can actually buy the tank straight away? Or indeed, may they put it into an event? I think that's highly unlikely, and if I was a betting man, I'd have to say it's going to come in crates, which is unfortunate. So while it may be desirable to some players, it may be even more unattainable than otherwise. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. And now I guess all that remains for me to say is, as always, pants off.